Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some rapid reviews. I have 10 items here that frankly I don't have the time or the energy to give full dedicated reviews to, and some of them I don't know that I could really put up more than just a few minutes of a review on. So we're going to lump them all in together. We're going to blaze through this. It's not going to be full-on reviews for every item, but I'm going to tell you my overall thoughts and whether or not I recommend them. I might not actually say that because it gets a little redundant, but you're going to be able to pick up what I'm putting down. Trust me. All right, let's do this. All right, I'm not going to do these in any particular order. There are certainly some items that I really like and certainly some that I really don't. But we're going to do like a little mixed bag here, and I'm just going to grab and go as they happen to fall into my hand. So first up, we're going to talk about the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Carli Bybel palette. A palette which, by the way, when it was first announced, I said I was not going to buy it. And then I saw it in the store and I swatched it and here it is. Now, part of my reasoning for not wanting it is this absolutely horrific packaging. It is horrifying. I hate it. I genuinely hate it. They're not like stickers or anything. They're horrific. And then like when I look at it, all I see is myself like 800 times. Every little sphere is like a little mirror, and that's altogether far too much me. I hate the packaging. Luckily though, it just sits in a drawer and I don't have to look at the packaging. So there's a bonus there. Now on the inside comes this brush, which I can only imagine just how many of these goddamn brushes have been made in production at some point. It's not even out of the plastic because I don't like it. I don't like these, first of all, I don't like dual-ended brushes. I genuinely don't. But also, it's the exact same brush in every palette. And I have, I think, like 7 or 8 ABH palettes. I don't need 7 or 8 of these. So perhaps ABH could do it a little bit more like Urban Decay does, where they still include a brush, but they shake things up a little bit. And brushes from palette to palette do tend to look different. So this one just gets binned. I never use it. I'm not going to bin it. I'm going to give it to Aspen. She will use it, but I won't. Anyways, moving on to the actual shadows. If you haven't seen the color story, I'll bring it in a little bit closer so that you can. These are freaking beautiful. Full stop, they're beautiful. Particularly the shade, I don't know, Away, I think. That's how I'm gonna say it because I don't know how else to say it. Jode? Jody? Jode? I don't know how to say these names. And Mandela is gorgeous. And I like the shade Moo. First of all, it's called Moo. That's adorable. But I like them. So I'm going to show you just a few of the shimmery shadows. And then I'll swatch some mattes as well, just to show you. Okay, now I've forgotten what the shade names are. We're off to a rocky start here. All right, here we go. So on the top is Moo. This one's Mandela, or Mandala, Mandala. I don't know how to say it. Oh God, this is terrible. This one, which one is that? Oh my God. This one is Away, and then Jode is on the bottom. And they're freaking stunning. They're so beautiful. All right, so now I'm going to dip into 4 mattes just at random. Let's see, let's do the darker ones. All right, so starting at the top is the shade Cindy, followed by Bybel, and then Steve, I don't know, and then, god damn these names, Bowie, I don't know, the brown one. Shade names, I don't get, and I don't know how to pronounce them. I apologize. However, the shadows are beautiful. They are gorgeous, and I do find with this formula, the mattes aren't quite as sensitive as other mattes from ABH are. I find that her mattes are super soft and kick up a ton in the pan, typically. Not so much with this palette. It is a little bit drier, but that's not to say that it's not blendable and that it's not pigmented, because they really are. My only thing with this is that There's really no deep option with the exception of that dark red, and that's really not a kind of color that I would go for lining my lower lash or building like depth in the outer corner. So I would have preferred maybe if this brown was a bit deeper, just a bit darker, but overall I really do like this palette and I think it is really pretty. When I first saw pictures of it, I was like, what do you do with that? I don't get it. It actually is a lot more versatile than I ever gave it credit for. So I'm glad that I picked it up, horrific packaging notwithstanding. All right, so I just railed on a brush that I don't like, so I'm going to share with you a brush that I do like. This one is from Bdellium, and it is one of their golden triangle brushes. It is the 767 round blender brush. There's really nothing particularly fancy about it. Bring it in a bit closer. But I really like this brush. You can see that there is some flexibility, but it is kind of stiff. All jokes aside, let's move on. What I like this brush for is after I've applied, I can use this to sort of blend the edges, particularly like in this area, and it does a really great job at it without really disturbing everything. So it's big enough to get a really nice gradient going on, but not so big that the bristles are just kind of amoebas in the breeze. I've said that before. Just kind of flopping around and not really doing anything. So it's got that nice, it's got the right size for it and the right stiffness level. Isn't that what we're all looking for in life? Moving on. So I really do like this as a blending brush for when it's all said and done. This isn't a brush that I use to pick up shadow with and apply. I really just use it for buffing all the other shadows out. I like it. Let's move on. Safer territory. Lip gloss. All right, so I did talk about the Milani Ludicrous lip gloss recently. It might have been in my most recent rapid reviews. I can't remember. Huge fan. Love it. Absolutely love it. So then I thought that I would try this one. This is also from Milani, and it is the Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper, and I picked up the shade Luminoso, which is number 4. I should have known because it is a lip plumper. It's got that like mentholated feel. It's not super painful. It's not like that, what's that Tarte thing? The Sting Zing or some like truly aggressive name. It's not that bad, but it is kind of on par with the Buxom lip glosses, where it just kind of makes your lips feel kind of cold, a little tiny bit tingly. I'm not a huge fan of that feeling, to be honest. I can handle this one. It's not quite as bad as the Buxom. I don't even buy those Buxom lip glosses anymore, but I would prefer this color in this formula, the Ludicrous one, because this is just so freaking good. It's not bad enough for me to return it. I will use it, but I will probably put it on top of like a lip pencil or on top of lipstick. So there's that. I've mentioned this palette before as well. This is the Brew palette from, oh gosh, who are you from? September Rose. Okay, and the reason I can't remember who it's from is because I can't remember buying this palette. I got the emails, I did purchase it. It wasn't like it was sent to me. I paid for it. Zero recollection. Like, do not remember doing it. But here we are, and here it is. So it is a very neutral kind of palette with some leaning towards warm. Well, it's a warm palette. Full disclosure, don't really know the difference between neutrals and warms. In theory, I get the idea. In practice, I can't always figure it out. I think this is more of like the warms with some neutrals in it. Regardless, you see it. It doesn't matter what I want to call it. You can see it. Okay. I'm in a mood. Anyways, there are only 2 shimmer shadows in here, and the rest of them are all matte, which I don't know why I bought it. I must have been incredibly drunk when I purchased this. However, what I will say is that it actually is a very nice palette. So, thank you, universe, I guess, for taking control of my body and purchasing this, because I actually really do like it. I would do something different with the layout, and I would change the matte to shimmer ratio, and of the two shimmers, I would make them have a little bit more of a difference between them than what you see, because they are very similar, like very similar. Maybe get rid of the stark white. Anyways, there are changes that I would definitely make. However, the shadows are very, very nice. Those metallic shades, beautiful. The mattes blend and they're very pigmented. I cannot complain about the quality of the shadows. Yes, I would make change to the overall color story and finishes of it, but when I want like a deep purple or a nice dark brown or deep like burgundy-ish red, I've got them and they perform really nicely. So I am very interested in trying something else from September Rose, but I'm gonna make sure that I am stone cold sober before I go to that site to make sure that I'm actually purchasing something that I actually want to try. It was a happy accident, but it could have been a disaster. Moving on. Let's bounce back over to lip products, and these are from the drugstore. These are the Mega Last Stained Glass Lip Glosses, and I liked them so much that I went back to the store and picked up 2 more, hence I have 3. All right, they claim to be vegan and they claim to be cruelty-free. Wet n Wild has made those claims for quite some time, and it did turn out that wasn't necessarily the truth. So do your own research on that kind of thing and make your own decisions. However, I did purchase them and I'm going to share them with you. So I'm just swatching as I'm talking, as one does, so that you can see what the colors look like. I really like these products. They are very glossy on the lips without being runny or streaky or sticky or anything like that. They're just very, very comfortable on the lips, and they stain like a mother. I had the bright pink one on and I wore it for maybe a couple of hours before I went to bed. I wiped it all off as best I could and it was still there when I woke up in the morning. So there you have it. The glossy aspect of it does fade over time, but it's still very long wearing, long lasting. You know what I mean? I will tell you the shade names just so that we can finish up with these. These stickers though, I can never freaking read them. Okay, top to bottom. So the top one is Handle with Care. The bright pink is Kiss My Glass. And the last one is Magic Mirror. And I think there were probably another 3 or 4 colors that I could have picked up as well, but these were the ones that caught my eye the most. And then I'll try to wipe it off and we'll see if it's gonna make a liar out of me or not. Nope, it's not. So you can see I'm rubbing like I mean it, and there they are. They've been on my hand for like, what, 45 seconds? And they've stained like you wouldn't believe. We'll move on to an eyeshadow palette that I was going to do a full video on because, spoiler, I love it, but I just don't have the time for it. It sounds like such an excuse, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles. It is what it is. Don't have the time for it, but I thought that I would at least include it here. This is the Sweet Violet palette from Violet Voss, one of their fun-sized palettes. First of all, it's so fun, like the purples, yes please. But it is so, so nice. The metallic shades, super easy to work with, but it's the mattes that just knock my socks off. They are so soft and almost creamy feeling, and they're just super pigmented. They're super easy to work with. They're not like falling all over your face. They're not patchy. They're not like super stiff where you can't blend them out nicely. There's just a little selection of them there, but they're so nice. I really, really like this palette. I really like this formula. There's no other color stories in these palettes that I'm particularly interested in, but they kind of have something for everyone. There's a bunch of these little fun-sized palettes, and I would thoroughly, if they're like this, thoroughly recommend them. In fact, I'm just going to swatch another couple because why not? And you know what? I'll just put them on my fingers. There they are. They're so nice. Now, to help the eyeshadows perform the best they can, I have a new eye primer, and it is from Gerard Cosmetics, and it is their Clean Canvas Eye Base. Now, before I talk about it, I want to have full disclosure here. I am an affiliate with Gerard Cosmetics, and I consider myself to be friends with Jen Gerard. We follow each other, we chit chat. I'm really hoping to meet her when I go to LA in June this year. However, having said that, I still want to be fully honest. Now, when I first got this, I was nervous because of the consistency of it. So I'm going to show you. It looks very runny. Not very runny, like it's not going to like tilt out of the pan or anything, or out of the pot, but it looked too runny to be an eye base. I'm not one, yeah, you know what? If I hold it long enough, it will run out of the pot. Okay, it's runny. Fair enough. So it looked more like a concealer. And sometimes when I use concealers as an eye base, they crease. They just don't do what I'm wanting them to do. They look great at first, and then like an hour out, you're like, oh God, what did I do? Not the case with this. Little bit goes a long way. I just kind of dip a little tiny bit on my brush, and then I blend it all out. It cancels out a bunch of the discoloration that I have. It's very smooth. It's not so tacky that shadows just can't blend on top of it. I can either set it or not set it, and even if I don't set it, I have no issues blending afterwards. I have no issues with creasing. It doesn't bunch up. It doesn't do anything that I don't want it to do, and it's actually just a fantastic product. I, like I said, was skeptical going into it, but now I really, really love it. It's kind of a mix between concealer and like a MAC paint pot. It's not as runny as concealer, but it's not as not runny as the MAC paint pot. Whatever that word would be, I don't know. But it performs every bit as well as a paint pot in terms of blocking out discoloration and the longevity of it. So this is one that I do highly recommend. If you do wish to use my code, it is Kara, K-A-R-A. It will save you 30%, and I do earn a small commission off of that, but I really do recommend that one. Another product that I do recommend is from Kaja, and it is their, what is this called? Earheart lipstick. And the shade that I have is number 5, Sprung, and that is what is on my lips here. It is a heart-shaped lipstick. You can see by the tube there, and then it just comes up out of the tube, and it is heart-shaped. So it's cute. Now, when I was looking at it, like I thought, I don't know, that's gonna be a pain in the ass to apply. I don't know about that. I was reading about it on Sephora, and what they were suggesting was like using like the bum of the heart, I guess, like the tip, and use that to like line your lips and then fill in with the rest of it. I've tried that. Not a great idea. Did not enjoy that. However, when I just try to apply it like a normal human being and just apply it, no problems. I have no problem whatsoever. This is one I think I wouldn't apply it without a mirror, just for like the Cupid's bow area, but I haven't had to like go in and really get fussy with the lip line or anything of that sort. It applies like any other normal lipstick does. It is incredibly comfortable on the lips. I was worried, especially given the fact that the outer packaging is really matte, I was worried it was going to be a very matte type lipstick and be really drying, but it's not at all. I'm not sure it says it on the tube, but I think on the box or on the little display, it said that it was a natural finish, and I would agree with that. It's sort of like a satin finish. It has a little bit of reflectiveness to it, but it's not glossy, it's not matte. It honestly feels like I have nothing on my lips at all. Like it just is so lightweight. It's super pigmented. I can demonstrate that for you. Bloop. There's just one little line. Super opaque. It doesn't like pill up. It doesn't get crumbly. It doesn't dry out. It's just super comfortable. Not super long wearing, but most bullet lipsticks aren't, and I'm not fussy about that, especially because I can apply it fairly easily without requiring a bunch of fuss. So I really like it. I'm quite impressed with it, and I think here in Canada they're $22 at Sephora, which is pricey, but not so pricey for Sephora, so I'm happy with that price point. Now, a product that I cannot and do not recommend is from RMS Beauty, and this is the Signature Set Pop Collection. It may have been limited edition, but regardless, any of these face palettes I would now be scared off of because of this one. So I'll show you what's going on the inside. So it just opens up like this. This is like a highlight. This is like a bronzer. These are cheek and lip products. And then this is supposed to be like a lip and skin balm. Now, I had to glue one of the pans in because it kept coming out. And then you know what? I'm going to use the, thank you, ABH. I'm going to use this one. Is it going to come out? Let's see. Okay, it won't. I don't think it's going to fall out, but can you hear that? That's the pan moving around in there. So the pink one fell out completely the first time I opened it, and I had to put like super glue on the bottom of it to keep the pan in. And I suspect at some point that red one's going to come out as well. The products are super dry. Like the red is, oh, there it is. There it goes. Came right out. Yep, good job. It's not a nice texture. Like it's just really dried out. And I've only had it for like a month, but yet it just feels super dried out. It doesn't blend very nicely unless you really rub at it, which is not what I want to be doing with my cheeks. Like I really don't want to have foundation on and then be like sitting there and just scrubbing the hell out of my face trying to get this blush on. Where did I put the pan? Oh, I put it back in. Okay. The bronzer is okay. I'll live with the bronzer. Now, I don't know if I can actually get the texture of this lip balm to show up, but that might ultimately be a good thing for you guys. Let's see. I don't know if you can see the texture on there or not. It is very off-putting. It looks like lumpy oatmeal, and that's the way that it came. It just looks old. I don't know if it is, but it looks it. And it's like, for being a balm, it's not super balmy. Like once you get through that gross top layer, it starts to get a little bit more emollient, but this isn't the product that I'd be like, can I put that all over my lips, please? It's just so freaking off-putting just looking at it. So I don't recommend this. I just don't. I am very grateful that I got it using points and didn't actually pay cash out of pocket, because I think it was like $40 or something, and it's not worth it. I will use the bronzer and that is about it. Maybe the highlighter, maybe, but the rest of it, nah, hard pass. Okay, one more item, and I can't believe I bought this, and yet I did. It's from KVD. So whether you want to call that Kat Von D or whether you want to call it Kendo Vegan Doing Good Discovering Better Things, whatever the hell that was, either way, don't really like the brand. The blush is fucking gorgeous. It's so beautiful, and it feels like absolute satin. Like the powder quality is bananas. It is so good. The color is so pretty. My fingers are all stained, but let's just put it on the back of my hand here. It's just this beautiful deep rosy shade. It's called Foxglove. I have not bought anything from KVD in ages, but when I saw these blushes, I was like, oh dear, oh, she's pretty. And I hemmed and I hawed and I hemmed and I hawed. I even like the packaging. It just looks like a little flower. I quite enjoy that. But when I swatched it in the store, I could not resist because it just feels so nice. It's so beautiful. A little bit goes a long way, but it just is this really like natural flush. That's not what I'm wearing today, but it's just so gorgeous. So I don't like myself for liking it, but I do, and I don't regret the purchase. So go easy on me, guys. I know, Kat Von D, boo hiss. I know. I've boo hissed at her for years now. But when I see a nice product, I like a nice product. So it is what it is. Okay, that's it. that's all I got to talk about. If you've tried any of these products, or if you have anything else that you want to recommend or talk about, if you have ever tried anything from RMS Beauty that you actually did like, I would be interested to hear what product it was, what your experience was, all that kind of thing, because this was big old dud for me. But regardless, that is it. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video where I will try not to be quite so spazzy. Until then, just be a different human being. Just be different. There it is. Holy crap. How many times have I said my outro and I mess it up? All right, you know what? Let's double down. Just be a different human being. Bye for now.